You know that your team sucks and mine is great. It's time for AFFL hate. Gonna make them pits, gonna make them mad. I'm gonna do them dirty. Okay, it is the Albert Bowl. I don't know whatever number this is. Feels like it's in the 20s, so let's call it XXI. Hagak, Bill McCamey versus Animal House, Scott Myers. A good matchup this year. Whoever wins the 2014 season deserves it. They put together a good team. Wouldn't be a fluke. It wouldn't be a problem. I feel like most people will be happy either way because McCamey and Myers are both the affable type. Myers, really the only thing I know about him is that he used to work with Bry and he's amazing at Pop-A-Shot. Who could hate a guy like that? McCamey, a super fan of the podcast, probably the only podcast whack packer, so of course I like him. But neither man, as I said, openly objectionable. Myers is so quiet you can't form an opinion on him one way or the other. But first, before I dive into this game, a brief digression onto one of my favorite topics, myself, just about the amusement of fantasy football. First, CBS had me scoring 120 points this week, so I'm really looking forward to having a blowout week, scoring more points than anybody else in the league during championship week, and earning myself an extra $20 by capturing third place instead of fourth place. The real point is, the reason I'm in this position is because of last week, AJ Green, Calvin Johnson combined for under 10 points, and I lost. I had mentioned that I was the number 1 seed in my other league, was also in the semifinals. I won that. Now I'm in the Super Bowl for that league. The team that I'm facing this week has Matt Ryan, AJ Green, and Calvin Johnson. And there are a few guarantees in life, but I will give you one right now. AJ and Calvin will go off this weekend, giving me the rare 2-week double league screw job. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be an amusing time. Anyways, let's get to the game that everybody really cares about. I get onto the website this morning. I'm going to look through the lineups a little bit. I'm going to formulate my picks, my thoughts, my ideas. And then I see that Hagak has 5.4 points, and I say, hey, what is going on? How is it that a team in the title game is playing somebody in that awful Titans-Jags matchup? How do you get to be good if you have players from a bad team? And then I see a colossal error in judgment. Hagak plays Delaney Walker, and if you scroll down, DeMarco Murray is on the bench. Now, we all knew Murray was going to get hurt at some point. He's definitely going to get hurt next year with all the carries he has this year. But let's focus on right now. We knew he was going to get hurt. Word comes out Monday he broke his hand. Going to need surgery, maybe a cast. But he might play. A couple days go on. Hey, he still might play. Thursday comes. Really looking like he's going to play. But McCamey panics. The live fire has started. He doesn't know what to do. He knows if he leaves Murray in the lineup for Sunday, no, that can't be it. Because he has Chris Ivory sitting on the bench. He has Darren Sproles if he was truly desperate. He had options. He did not have to play Delaney Walker. And now he's left with this. Walker scored 5.4 points and burned up a roster slot. The remaining skill positions are Foster, Beckham, Tate, and Demarius. Assuming Murray is going to play on Sunday, which he likely will, I guess you take out Tate, even though he's playing against the Bears, who are collapsing faster than a black hole, and you feel like Tate is going to have some points in that one. I don't think you want to take out Beckham after he scored 30 points last week. Do you take out Foster? I mean, he's going against the Ravens. Ravens are down to their 7th and 8th corners starting this game. But Case Keenum is the quarterback for the Texans, so maybe the Ravens just put 11 guys in the box, stuff Foster. And you definitely don't sit Demarius, even though the Bengals defense is at home and has been getting better lately. You don't sit a guy like that. So basically, McCamey has put himself into this corner where if he wants to play Murray against the Colts, he's going to have to bench a really good player because he felt like playing Delaney Walker in the title game was a good decision. Here's the thing. Even if Murray was scratched on Sunday morning you find out late, hey, game time decision, he's not going to play, now you need to do something. You have Chris Ivory just sitting there. He's playing the Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots are going to win that game, but the Jets have given the Patriots trouble in the past, especially at home. And Ivory and Walker are the exact same guy. They could score 3 this week. They could score 15. You don't know which one you're going to get. What's the difference? This was a colossal error in judgment. Just a complete mistake. It's like he kicked the opening kickoff out of bounds, gave Animal House the ball on the 40. It's like the first play for the Broncos last year when Ramirez snapped it over Peyton's head and the Broncos started with a safety. Just a horrible way to start the game. What a mistake. But will it cost him the title? Maybe not, because on the other side, Animal House has Harry Douglas in the starting lineup. Now this will be a good play against the Saints if Julio is missing this week. If Julio misses this week, Animal House is going to run Roddy White and Harry Douglas out there. Saints have a bad secondary. Obviously, this game is indoors. Should be a lot of points in this one, and if Julio's not there, more points for Douglas. He had 100 yards last week with Julio out. But if Julio's in, Douglas is probably not going to do a whole heck of a lot, and Animal House has no options on the bench to replace those points. So, it's entirely possible, nay, likely, that Walker and Douglas kind of balance out with 5.4 points. So, let's call that one a wash for now. Quarterback, Roethlisberger, going up against the Chiefs. Brady, going up against the Jets. 2 quarterbacks that have lit it up this year, can put up a ton of points, but they're both facing good defenses this week. Well, the Jets secondary is not really good, but Rex has a way of getting to Brady, getting some pressure on him, suppressing his point totals a little bit. Chiefs secondary, really good. Front 4 is really good. They're going to get the bend all day. Call this one a wash. As for running backs, Foster, we talked about. I don't think he's going to have a great game this week because of that Baltimore defense, and Keenum, he's going to be held down. I'm going to say Foster, by the way, does not get into double digits this week. 9.5 points for him at the tops. On the other hand, Le'Veon Bell going up against Kansas City. Kansas City, really good defense, really tough to run on. Steelers might have to get away from feeding Bell the ball all the time, even though he is the number 1 back in the NFL, according to some people. CBS is projecting him to have 21 points. That's 150 total yards and a touchdown. That's a lot against the Chiefs. But on the other side of the ball, Jamal Charles going up against the Steelers. That's a great matchup. He's going to be able to run against the Steelers. Any swing pass he catches against the Steelers is going to go for 20 yards. That's a great matchup. Murray, if he plays against the Colts, that's a fine matchup. I'm going to give a pretty good edge in the backfield to Animal House. Obviously, a big advantage for Hagak at the wide receiver. Yeah, Macklin should be able to get his against Washington this week, even with Sanchez struggling. Roddy, he'll get his against the Saints. Douglas, like we said, it's an either-or proposition depending on Julio. But Golden Tate against the Bears. Beckham, he could be held down. The Rams are coming on strong lately. That front 4 is going to give Eli a lot of problems. You could see a lot of back foot, eyes closed, heave throws from Eli that keeps the ball away from Beckham. But he's so electric lately, I think he'll be able to get his. Demarius, again, tough against Cincy. You want to see Beckham and Demarius have good games in their last games for McCamey before he loses them to the draft. But we shall see. Big advantage for Hagak at the wide receiver position. Probably bigger than the advantage that Animal House has at running back, because again, I think Bell can be held down a little bit by the Chiefs, but maybe not. Bell is just incredible this year. Cairo Santos for Hagak, Vinatieri for Animal House. Both are looking pretty good. They're playing against other teams that should let points be plentiful. Dolphins defense against the Vikings and Bridgewater for Hagak. Seahawks defense against Ryan Lindley and Stephon Taylor for the Cardinals. Pretty big advantage there for Animal House. So, when all is said and done, I don't think there's a lot of dramatics in this game. I think Animal House takes it, and takes it pretty handily. There's not really too much else to say about this game. I think, after the 1 o'clock games, Animal House is going to have a pretty nice lead. Later afternoon games, you're going to have Macklin for Animal House, Beckham for Hagak. Let's call that a wash. Then in the Sunday night game, the Seahawks defense, they're going to put up 15, 16 points. I think Animal House goes to bed Sunday night with a 30-point lead. Hagak has Thomas in the Monday night game in his back pocket. The possibility will exist that Thomas could have one of those all-time games. I had a friend last week, was in his fantasy semifinals, was looking pretty good. Then the Saints didn't run the clock all the way down. Cutler came in, got a late touchdown. My friend lost by about a point on that totally meaningless Bears touchdown. It's possible we could see a late, incredible comeback for Hagak, but ultimately, I think it falls short. Animal House, 102. I've talked myself into them having a respectable point total, winning the title in fashion, not backing into the title, really finishing off this season as a champion. Question is, do they do the Bettis? Does Myers retire after this season? Does he hang him up? We certainly hope not. Not because of any affinity we have for him. We really never talk to him. But because Gary, I think, is out of people that he knows that could potentially take this franchise over. It would have to be maybe adopted by the NFL and we all run it by a series of votes. It would get messy. We need Myers just for the simple fact that he's a warm body. Plus, what kind of man does not defend his title? Animal House, 101. Hagak, 86. The dream dies for Bill McCamey. And the dream will not wake up in 2015 when all he brings back are Arian Foster and DeMarco Murray, two running backs who are ticking time bombs of injury, just waiting to go on IR for the whole season with a blown ACL in training camp. I'm sure that won't be too much of a problem for McCamey. So, congratulations to Scott Myers. You are the best of all of us at Papa Shot and at fantasy football.